All right, Easy Bakers, so today what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a box cake and make it taste as if it's homemade with just a few simple ingredients. And if you haven't, follow me on Instagram at Daverney Freeman. Let's get into the video. First, you start with whatever cake mix you're gonna use to look and see what type of pan that you're gonna need for that specific cake. And whatever pan it is, you wanna grease it with some softened butter and flour this. This is one of the most important things that you can do to make sure that your cake won't stick. And what I like to do is just take a tablespoon of all-purpose flour and shimmy it around, getting on the full bottom and the sides of the pan. Now we're gonna go into the ingredients that we're gonna use, and all of my ingredients are at room temperature. First, the box say use water. No, we use buttermilk. Buttermilk will retain that moisture and make it so good. We never use oil, we use butter as our fat, and if the ingredients call for half a cup, you're gonna wanna use a whole cup. So just like you do any type of cake mix, you put it in your bowl, add all the ingredients to it, and this calls for 3 eggs. Sometimes if you want more of a spongy type of cake, you can add more eggs than what is required. But you mix that up just like how you would do any type of cake. Make sure you're not over mixing, because when you over mix, that tends to lead to a drier cake, and we don't want anything dry. Now you take your batter and you put it in your prepared baking tins. I'm doing 2 9-inch cakes, and you want to make sure that you put even amounts in each cake, and you want to release the bubbles. So what I do is I like to just bang it on the counter a few times. Then I take a toothpick or something and I kind of like make some lines into it to release the bubbles as well. Both of them, you want to release bubbles because you don't want to have air pockets in your cake. And as always, before you do anything when it comes to baking, you preheat your oven and you grease and flour your baking pans. And you always want to have your ingredients at room temperature when it comes to baking. So when you take out your cake, you want to make sure that it's done. Do not open your oven to check on your cake, because every time you open your oven, it has to reheat that. It has to heat back up. So you know that your cake is done when the cake pull away from the sides a little bit, and whenever you insert a toothpick, it comes out clean. So if you find that your cake isn't done yet, just stick it back in the oven for 5-minute intervals just to check it. And you guys notice I took one cake out, checked it while I left the other one in there, just in case it wasn't done. I didn't take both of my cakes out, you know, it just help with the cooking process. So you leave your cakes in that pan until it's cool to the touch. Once it's cool to the touch, you take them out and you put them on a cooling rack. I'm just showing you guys how they release from the sides, and that's one indicator that you know that they're done. But once they're cool to the touch, do not let them stay in that pan because they will continue to cook. So you take them out, tap on the back of it, and there you have it. There, since I greased my pan, there is nothing left over in that pan. I take some parchment paper, move it to the side, and just go from there. So this is how you make a box cake taste as if you done hooked this cake up. And if you're just cooking this for you and your family, you do not want to put the parchment paper on the cooling rack because you want the air to flow in it evenly. But I'm using this cake for something else. So I just covered up in a saran wrap because I have kids and I don't need them digging in it. Then you want to decorate this cake to however it is you want to decorate this cake. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope that it was helpful to you guys, especially for my easy bakers. If you're just getting into baking, these tips will take you a long way, honey. So I will talk to you guys on my next video.